So I wanted to talk a little bit about Halloween Kills. Um, Here on the table we have two masks. They are both Halloween 2018 masks. This one has been rehauled in the 2018 style. And this one has been rehauled in the Halloween Kill style. I have close-ups and reviews of both of these masks. If you're interested, you can check them out on my channel. Anyway, so moving into the movie. Movie starts off and the flashback scene is probably the best part of this entire movie. They really capture the feel and the mood and the atmosphere of the 78 film and the cinematography and everything. They really take you back to 78 in that scene. I really like the fact that they showed you things that you didn't get to see in the original movie, like the dog that Michael ate that Loomis and Brackett discovered in the house. You didn't get to see that in the 78 movie. You see it here. That was a cool callback when they went upstairs into Judith Meyer's bedroom when Brackett and Loomis were standing there earlier in the night, and the gutter came down and broke the window. I thought that was really cool that they showed that nice connective tissue there. In the Lonnie, a lot of people didn't catch this, but in the Lonnie Elam encounter, you can actually see the station wagon, the state of Illinois official use only station wagon that Michael escaped in, that he stole from Loomis and Marion in that scene. That was cool. And here's something I haven't heard anyone talk about: the that metal structure, that giant metal tower with the red flashing light. I really like that because they showed that. I don't know if that is an actual structure that exists somewhere or that was just movie magic, but I thought that was really cool. That really put you in that space and made you feel like this was the same place 40 years later, because they showed it in 78 and they showed it in 2018. The flashback scene was almost perfect. One thing I will say that I hear a lot of people saying about it that I don't 100% agree with. Everybody says, how much the flashback mask, how much the flashback mask looks like the 78 mask. The flashback mask looks great. It looks excellent. But I think it looks more like a de-aged version of the 2008 mask than the actual 78 mask. It looks great. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. Anyway, so it was almost perfect. The only thing I didn't like about the 78 flashback was Loomis's voice. I thought that the guy who did his voice in the recording in 2018 got it much closer, but I will say that I was happy that it was an actual actor with makeup and it was not CGI, because a lot of people thought beforehand that it was going to be a CGI Loomis, and I am very happy that we got a real actor in there. It didn't really make sense how he got around the police officers and got inside the house. Did Michael kill again? What happened in here? I didn't really, it didn't really make sense to me. I don't think that would happen in real life, but yeah, overall the 78 flashback was the best part of the movie. So moving on to the bar scene. Now, when I saw the bar scene in the theater, I thought it was really over the top. I thought the speech and this he had a power above. He had a power beyond any mortal man. I thought that was a little over the top, considering that only 1978 had happened, only Halloween 1 had happened, and that they didn't even know what happened earlier in the night. But upon several rewatches, I realized that Tommy was talking about the bus escape and the murders that happened, and Tommy said, "Oh, it had to have been Michael," and somebody chimed in, probably Lindsay, and said, "Oh, Tommy, you're paranoid." So that added a little more context to that scene. People are drinking, tensions running high. People, people when they're drinking, they elevated emotions and all that. So it made a little more sense upon a rewatch. I wish that the bartender was a little more understandable though, because he sounded like fucking Mushmouth. I only understood like every fourth word that this guy said. So yeah, but anyway, so the doctor and nurse couple, they go outside and they're about to go to the car, and having heard that there's a murderer on the loose, the guy says, "Oh, I forgot my stethoscope," and he goes back. He goes back into the bar, and knowing that there's a killer on the loose, sends his wife out to the car by herself. Nobody would do that, so I'm calling bullshit on that. But it's Tivoli in the car, and not Michael Myers. But everybody believes that it's Michael Myers. Tommy Doyle comes out with the baseball bat, scares him away. He gets away, and there are flashes back and forth when Tommy toasts to Laurie and the survivors, and they flash to Laurie Strode. And the second best part of this movie is Michael and the scene with the firefighters. We see Michael emerging from this inferno and just fucking laying waste to these firefighters. Michael Myers in this movie, he is a beast. Like, this is one of the best, if not the scariest and most intimidating and brutal Michael Myers that we've ever seen. He comes out of the burning house with the Halligan tool, and he just massacres these firefighters. You only see him kill about 6 of them. You see the aftermath, but you don't see the whole thing. He takes the one out with the saw, and yeah, that is a great scene. From there, he moves on to the caretaker from Halloween 2018, and her husband. They live next to Laurie Strode, and there's some brutal, awesome kills. The thing that I really liked the most about that scene was how, like, after he killed the husband, he was pulling out different knives and kind of testing them out on the husband, seeing kind of which one he liked and all that. I thought that was a really cool touch. I really liked that. So moving on from there, I'm just going to talk about some random things in no particular order at this point. Got my bullet points here. It's a real it's not a very sophisticated operation here. I just do videos on a cell phone in one take. And so we meet Big John and Little John. Those are 2 of my favorite characters in the movie. I really enjoy their personalities, the back and forth between them. I really enjoy their relationship. Some of the with the kids with the stealing the Halloween candy, I thought their exposition dump about Michael Myers was a little over the top. For some reason, like, everybody in this movie talks like Dr. Loomis with absolutely no context for it. So there's that. I thought that was a little over the top. And the morgue, what the fuck's going on with the morgue in this hospital? Why is it open and anybody can just go in and see all the murder corpses? I thought that was stupid. The permit scene, the point where he's like, they're going out and they're going to form a lynch mob and hunt Michael Myers, and the guy's like, "Do you have a permit for these guns? We got to make sure we're legal to go out and commit murder." I thought that was fucking dumb. The mob recruiting scenes. Tommy Doyle, I didn't really care for him too much in this movie. Some of the mob recruiting scenes where he's like, there's strength in numbers, and you know, I had an altercation with Myers about an hour ago. We jump out, we bob and weave, we catch him by surprise. That's the way we catch them. When people need to get their that aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. I thought that mob recruiting scene was pretty. All those that mob recruiting montage was pretty cringy. I didn't really care for that. So, jumping around back and forth a little bit. Okay, so the scene where we catch up with the kids that were at Big John and Little John's house, and they're on the swing set, and Lindsay sees them over by the swings and decides to get out and go, warn them about what's happening. It doesn't really make sense that the person driving the car that could just drive away at the first sign of danger would get out of the car, but okay, movie. So she gets out and asks them what they're doing there, tries to warn them what's going on, and they tell Lindsay that Michael Myers was like playing peekaboo with them. He pops out, he has the friend's mask, and then at that moment is when the kids realize that something isn't wrong here, and Lindsay tells them, get out of here, or he's going to kill us all. And this is the moment when Michael attacks the truck that everyone is in. And overall, I enjoy this scene. He hops on the top of the truck, the homage to Halloween 1 with the hand against the glass window. That was cool that they did that. And Marion starts shooting at him, and a lot of people I've heard say it's a stupid movie cliche. You get the bad guy and the gun jams. The gun didn't jam. It was a subcompact revolver, probably a 5-shot revolver. She shot 5 times in the car, so she just ran out of ammunition. But that scene with the "This is for Dr. Loomis" click, yeah, that was pretty heavy on the cringe. So Michael hops in the car, stabs her to death. The guy dressed as a doctor tries to strangle him with his stethoscope, and Michael stabs him in the eye. Awesome kill, one of the best kills in the movie. What I want to know is, though, where the fuck did the lady, the wife, go? The woman dressed like a nurse. She hops out of this window. She disappears for like 2 minutes. All of a sudden, she just pops out with a fucking. While these people are getting massacred, she just fucking disappears. Her husband's one of them. She disappears for 2 minutes. She just shows back up, starts shooting at him from like 20 yards away, and the last shot, he kicks the door open, hits the gun, and flies up, and she shoots herself in the head. And that's funny. Most of the people in the theater laughed at that, and it's funny how much more of the context and how much more I got out of it on the second watch, because I saw it the day after opening night, and the place was loud, so there's a lot that I missed. So moving on, some other cringy moments. All right, so it kind of goes like this: like if you're in it for carnage and kills and a badass Michael Myers and an awesome mask and some good atmosphere, you will enjoy this movie. First time I saw this movie, I didn't like it that much, but it's grown on me a lot. But there are some major dialogue problems, some cringy dialogue in here that's kind of off-putting. So just go into that knowing that the scene where Hawkins is brought in with Laurie, and she's talking to him. She doesn't know if he's conscious or not, and she's saying all this stuff about their past and this and that, and this 60-something-year-old man just got stabbed in the neck and run over. Like the first thing he says is, "You so crazy, girl, you so crazy," like that. Like I just thought that was really stupid. And another thing, I'm glad that they brought him back, because Hawkins was such a great character in the previous movie. I think the original plan was probably to kill him off and they realized they fucked up and brought him back because he would not have survived his injuries from the previous movie. That also uh, that scene where they're in there and it's a little while later, and Laurie's like, "Can you give my friend a double?" And I didn't like that either. I thought that was pretty cringy. So we move into this hospital scene. The hospital sequences are some of my least favorites in the movie. There's a lot of cringy dialogue, a lot of really dumb things are said, but the thing that bothered me the most was the Tivoli story. I'm glad that they brought Tivoli back because I thought that he was the most interesting of any of the other prison inmates, the guy with the umbrella, and Sartain even talked about him. But the idea that anybody could confuse this man for Michael Myers is beyond me. This guy, this little like 5'2" guy that looks like the Penguin from Batman Returns, like fucking Danny DeVito. That anybody could have confused him with Michael Myers is beyond me. It's not believable at all. So Tivoli shows up at the hospital, and this is where you hear the "Evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight," and it gets really fucking old. And every 10 seconds somebody's saying it's been 40 years. Yeah, we get it. Anyway, so they're chasing fucking Tivoli through this hospital, and they're gonna fucking lynch him. They're gonna beat him to death. He jumps to his death, and probably the worst scene in this entire movie is after Tivoli commits suicide and Brackett's standing over top of him, and Brackett said, "He's not him, Tommy," and Tommy actually says, "Well, how do we know it's not him? He's always worn a mask." He wore a mask for one night in his life, 1978, when he attacked you. He's been incarcerated for 40 fucking years. You telling me that you don't know what this guy looks like? If this had actually happened, this would have been a major story. His face would have been on the news, would have been in the fucking newspapers. Everybody in the whole country would have known what this guy looks like. And I'm supposed to believe that you go every year to commemorate the survivors and the victims and toast to everybody, and you have no idea what the fuck this guy looks like? Bullshit. Those people, out of anybody, would have known what Michael Myers looks like. But anyway, moving on from there. So, from there, the guy, Lonnie, he figures out that Michael Myers is heading home. That, they don't really explain. He says, he kills, he creeps, he goes home. Or he creeps, he kills, he goes home. Whatever he said. It's more cringy dialogue. And they go to the house. They go to the Myers house, and they don't know that Big John and Little John have already been killed. I skipped over that. I really liked how they did that there. It didn't. The kills. I mean, what would happen in the house with Big John? I think there's somebody in our house. Okay, Little John, I have this knife. Nobody would have done that. They would have left and called the police. That's what would have happened. So, but they go up and they go to investigate, and they're playing Marco Polo with each other. Big John, Little John, Big John, Little John, going through this house, and Michael fucking gouges this guy's fucking eyes out with his thumbs. Awesome, badass kill. And then he kills the other guy. The other guy sees him in the house, and off camera he kills him. But what I really liked about that kill was after they were dead, Michael position them in like the reverse of that picture that they had, like the guy laying in his lap. That was really cool. And so Cameron, Lonnie Elam, and the granddaughter Allison go to the house, as I previously said. Lonnie goes in by himself. They hear a gunshot. We can assume that he's been killed, but they go in and they go upstairs. They find Big John and Little John, and Cameron goes out in the hallway and he discovers his father in one of those doors to the attic with the ladders that come down. And Michael bursts out of this closet and he attacks Cameron, and Allison comes out and tries to shoot him with a shotgun. He bats it away. She stabs him a few times in the stomach. He stabs Cameron, bashes her head on the banister, throws her down the steps. Her leg breaks, and the way he kills Cameron, that's one of the best kills in the entire series. It's fucking brutal. With the neck and his back on back and forth against the side of the staircase. That was really cool. And then he comes down and he's going after Allison, and then he just fucking spins Cameron's head completely around and 180 degrees and breaks his fucking neck. Awesome. One of the best kills in the entire fucking series. James Jude Courtney is an awesome Michael Myers. To me now, James Jude Courtney is Michael Myers. Anyway, so moving on from there, he comes down. He's about to kill Allison. Karen stabs him in the back with a fucking pitchfork that was on Big John and Little John's porch, right in the fucking spine. And he goes down. And I do have a little bit of a problem with this scene. I don't believe for a second that Karen would have stopped in that moment. I think she would have just kept going with the pitchfork in his fucking head. This man had just killed her husband earlier in the night. He was trying to kill her daughter. I don't believe she would have stopped. But, for movie's sake, we'll suspend disbelief. Anyway, so she takes the mask off of Michael Myers, and she uses it to lure him to this lynch mob, and she gives that gotcha that she used in the previous movie much better. It was much more effective in the last movie. It didn't land nearly as well, but anyway, she leads him to this lynch mob, and they beat the shit out of him. He gets fucking bludgeoned with bats and sticks and giant wrenches. He gets fucking shot. He gets stabbed again. If there was any doubt that this man is more than human, I think in that scene, him surviving that, it was confirmed. So Karen goes off to tend to Allison. Tommy tells her, we got this. Brackett's about to shoot Michael Myers in the head and the brain. At this point, I'm not even sure that would have killed him. Some of the shit that we've seen him survive in these last two movies, this movie, let alone fucking 2018 too, where he got hit by the fucking Tahoe going full speed. But anyway, so he's about to shoot Michael Myers in the head. Michael pulls the knife out from the base of his neck back here, cuts Brackett's throat, and just fucking starts laying waste to this mob. I don't really like the way that scene was shot. I think they should have shot that scene more like how they shot the firefighter scene. Very direct, and you can see everything that's going on, not just flashes of people's faces and things happening. They should have done it like that. Didn't really like the way that scene was shot. There's still some pretty cool kills. He kills Tommy Doyle. He stabs him in the chest. He takes the bat off of him. Huckleberry, he bashes his head in. And from there, we flash back to the Myers house. And Karen sees what I guess is an apparition or something of young Michael Myers up in the window. And she goes up to investigate, and she's standing in the window, and Michael appears behind her. And in an homage to Psycho, it's shot very much the same way. You watch that scene and you watch Psycho. the angles, the things with the hands, everything that's happening in that scene. It's very callback to Psycho, and that's what they were going for. And even with the music a little bit in that scene, they were kind of going back to that. And the original ending would have been much better. I wish that they had kept that original ending. If you don't know, what was supposed to happen was that Karen was supposed to be on the phone with her mother, with Laurie, and Michael was going to kill her while Laurie was on the phone and listened. And it ends with Michael picking up the phone and Michael breathing into the phone and Laurie just saying, "Michael," and her knowing that her daughter was dead. The reason they got rid of this is because after that they show the scene where she gets dressed and is carrying the knife out of the hospital to go after Michael Myers. I still think they should have used it. People are saying that they decided not to use it because they decided to jump 4 years into the future for this next film because Laurie was going out to get him. Who's to say definitively that she fucking found him? It was a much better ending. They should have just kept it. I have several theories about the upcoming film, and maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But in spite of all the negative things that I've said about this film, the cringy dialogue, a lot of the stupid things that are said in this movie, I have really grown to like this movie. I've probably watched it about 10 times now, and I like it more and more each time I watch it. And I am excited to see where they go 4 years later in Halloween Ends. It's not my favorite Halloween sequel, but it's upper middle somewhere in there for me. I am really, each time I watch this movie, it gets better. So that's my review on Halloween Kills. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time.